Hey friends, this is Broze of the Conscious Resistance Network, and well, today I'm going to share with you the results of the election in Houston. I apologize if it's a little echoey in here or the volume's not that great. Everything in my apartment is now moved out and I'm moved into my RV, so this is the last video I'll be doing in my apartment as I move into the RV and figure out how I'm going to do my work, and basically my life's in a transition. The end of my campaign happened last night, and if you haven't heard, well, as far as numbers go, I didn't do that well. See the city of Houston reporting right here. Think about this, guys. Understand this failure of democracy. 244,000 voters out of a city of nearly 3.5 million people get to decide who's going to be the mayor. And there will be a runoff between the current mayor, Sylvester Turner, and the wannabe Trump, Tony Busby, because nobody reached 51%. And I'm way down here with only 694 votes, which honestly, without getting too conspiratorial, does not make any sense. You see this lady, Victoria Romero, Sue Lovell, Demetria Smith, Roy Vasquez, and even Kendall Baker. They're nice people, but none of them had a movement behind them. None of them had supporters behind them. Their social media presence is small. Their outreach is small. They don't have money as far as we know. But of course, there are rumors of various political games taking place. Interestingly enough, Victoria Romero and Roy Vasquez jumped into the race on the very last day, and as I said, they only attended a handful of events. They were nice, but neither one of them had very many ideas. They could barely string a sentence together, if I'm being frank, and somehow they end up getting 1,500 and 2,900 votes. And we definitely expected myself to be coming in fourth, basically where Victoria is. These were the top, according to the media, the top 4 candidates right here. And we figured I would be coming in fifth or maybe even fourth. But that didn't happen. Either way, I'm thankful for the 694 votes I got. As I told you guys, though, I wasn't in this for the votes. That wasn't the reason I started this. I'm just going to share with you guys a little Facebook post I made this morning, and it will kind of lay out how I feel about this. So, of course, this has been an amazing experience the last 5.5 months, and I'm very honored to have the support of people in Houston and beyond, because I know that many of you who follow through the YouTube channel, you're not in Houston and you've been telling people and letting people know. So, of course, only 237,000 votes is what it was earlier. I think the total is 244,000. Either way, extremely low, and these people get to decide the future of the city. And as many of you know, this is a flaw of democracy, the fact that such a small amount of people can vote on something and everybody else has to go along with it. I wish more people were active, whether they were voting or actually using agorism and counter-economics and opting out of the system. But the reality is, most people in this city have no idea that there was even an election yesterday. It doesn't affect their lives, or at least they feel that way. However, unfortunately, the government is becoming increasingly oppressive and in your face, and so it will affect you. What I want to say is, I don't quite understand how 3 other lesser-known candidates who didn't attend many events, didn't have a movement behind them, and didn't generate near as much interest as our campaign could have more votes. Something about this doesn't seem right. I don't have the evidence, but when considering all the BS we dealt with from the local media, local political groups, and other candidates, it's hard not to question the results. Either way, when I launched this campaign, it was never about the votes. The goal of this campaign has always been about changing hearts and minds and planting seeds for a bigger movement. Reflect on these words that I wrote back in May when I first announced. The reality is that even on the local level, the political game is corrupted and rigged. The city of Houston does not need another politician to help bring prosperity or liberty to the city. The people of Houston are capable of organizing their own communities and neighborhoods. The only way to make this happen is to elect someone who will strip the mayoral position of its power and amplify the voice and power of the people, and that is what I tried to do. Together, we helped raise awareness about the reality that the mayor has too much power. I believe we've planted seeds that will bear the fruit of dissent, and the idea of stripping the mayor of power will spread. Also, listen to these words that I wrote. My campaign for mayor should not be confused with an attempt to tell the people of Houston, or anyone, anywhere, how to live their life and organize their own affairs. If anything, this campaign is designed to educate, empower, and awaken the sovereign spirit of all Houstonians. I want to help people recognize their innate power, beauty, and self-ownership. Overall, I think our censorship by Greg Grugan and Fox 26, through the censorship by Facebook 10 days before the election, and through the pushback we have received from the local establishment, we have been able to show you, those watching, that the local government and the media are equally corrupt as the national government and media. I hope that lesson stays with many of you in the time to come. Finally, I want to say thank you to those who have supported but couldn't vote in the Houston elections or don't even live in Houston, Texas, or the US. I appreciate the moral support and the shares. I also know we have lots of support from people who choose not to vote, and I appreciate you and I understand why you choose not to vote. I ask each of you to find other ways to get active and engaged in your community. Only by finding ways to work together, especially outside the system, can we build a better world where truth, justice, liberty, and accountability are the norm and not the exception. And I don't know if I'm going to leave this Facebook page up. Many of you know I deleted my Facebook page. I haven't been on Facebook for over a year before this campaign. But for the moment, I was planning on sharing my journalistic work, my documentaries, my articles, my books, and speeches. And as I told these people, I'm not going to be voting in the runoff between Busby and Turner because it's basically the same as choosing between Trump and Hillary. And as far as I'm concerned, Houston's fucked either way. But whoever wins, as long as I'm in Houston, they will face my camera and my questions. And here you can see we have hundreds of comments and interactions and support, 24 shares. The interesting thing though, check this out. Shortly after I post this, look at this. Limits have been placed on the Derek Broze for Mayor of Houston page. Your stories are not being shown in the news feeds. So now, once again, I've been banned from news feeds for a week. And this is after being banned for a week up until last Thursday. I think I did a video that I told you guys that 10 days before the election, Facebook banned me for saying that government and media are organized crime, and they kept people from seeing our newsfeed, seeing our stories in the newsfeed. And that came back on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and here I am. I didn't even make it a week, and they banned me. And I'll let you know, they banned me shortly after I gave people a message about why me, an anarchist, would choose to be involved in this race. And as you can see, every one of my posts has nearly 100 or more interactions. We've got all these pictures. We've been generating a lot of support. We've been reaching 127,000 people just this week, 30,000 video views, 131 new likes just this week. We are generating mass traffic and building a movement. And I believe there was some funny business to keep me, not that I thought I was going to win, but to keep me from even placing higher so that people would look at me and actually pay more attention to the issues I'm talking about. And that's where it's at, guys. As I told you and as I said on this post, I didn't do this because I thought I was going to radically, be able to just save Houston or whatever, but I did it because I felt like it was important, and I am thankful I did it. I am grateful that I did it. It's also very frustrating. Today's been a very bittersweet day. I have to remind myself that I didn't come into this thinking I was going to win and become mayor. But it would have been nice to be able to change things. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But me and the team and the people I'm working with, we're going to continue to build. You guys know me. I'm not going to stop my work. I'm going to get back to my 5G documentary. I'm going to write my book, Counter Economics: How to Opt Out of the Becoming Technocratic State. And I'm going to keep focusing on these issues. I did this because I thought I might be able to stop or slow down 5G, mass surveillance, the drug war, and many other important issues. And I'm going to continue to work on those as I have throughout all these years. And I hope that I'll have your support as this continues. And as I said, I have, it might be a little break between videos as I figure out my living situation. But I thank everybody who has helped me get to this point and who has worked so hard to support me in one way or another. Until next time, guys. Much love. Remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free. Peace.